journey encompasses inspiration, mentorship, and transformative leadership.
Post his tenure with the Indian Administrative Services in the 2017, Mr. R's endeavors have left an indelible mark. With 8 TEDx talks, 5 influential Josh talks, his message has reached about 6 million people on YouTube, uh, with including a renowned interview with Beer Biceps.
A multifaceted figure, Mr. Atre's roles as founder of Suvichar think tank, visiting professor
Manoj Arora, Professor Arora, is now the Vice Chancellor, so he invited me there. Also went to Thapar, also to Kurukshetra, which is my college. I'll be going. I'm from NIT Kurukshetra. And okay, so now I know what you would want to clap for. When he said 8 TEDx talks, you didn't clap. So NIT Kurukshetra is more important than 8 TEDx talks. I'm joking, I'm joking. This is a humorous session. You'll enjoy it hopefully. It says, Oh My God Orientation 2023. I think OMG means Oh My God. So there's a movie of Akshay Kumar which has come, right? OMG 39 or something, or only OMG 2? OMG 2. It will be there even 20 years later. We'll be seeing OMG 20 or something. Okay, so how many of you watch Oppenheimer? Please raise your hands. Oh wow. You have a bright batch. They watch Oppenheimer and they didn't watch Barbie. They didn't watch Barbie. They didn't watch Barbie and they did watch Rocky Rani. They did watch Rocky Rani, right? No, okay. So I'm not judging you by which movie you saw or didn't see. I will mention a few things which are important for you because, believe it or not, one day Manishi, the professor, was also sitting in the first year. And believe it or not, even I was in first years at some point of time. So we in Kurukshetra or Peck or Thapar at that time, let's pretend that these are the 3 leading colleges of this region. We did not have motivational orientation sessions. The first day we joined, there used to be ragging. And we used to be subjected to ragging for a week or 10 days. And then, of course, in second year, we were not subjected to ragging because we were in second year. And then we just got into class and started studying. And I remember the first day I was in engineering, there was a tutorial. And it was some maths we were doing, which we've already done before coming to PEC or wherever. But I didn't have a clue as to what is happening over here. So I was feeling a little out of place. But after 4 years, I was pretty much settled and did reasonably well in electronics, which was my branch. And I remember playing a lot of cricket. And not to put you down, but I remember we beat Peck in a cricket match from Kurukshetra. And of course, Peck had a good cricket team. How many of you are sports persons? Please raise your hands. Okay, very good. This side we have more sports persons than this side for some reason, and no particular reason. How many of you love coffee? All right, all right. So already you've had some good exercise in the morning, putting your hands up and down, right? Now, the thing is we have to be multidimensional. The first point I want to make to you is that we need to be multi-dimensional, or as the Americans would say, multi-dimensional. Right? You've been watching Netflix? Multi-dimensional. Multi-dimensional. Right? But hopefully they're not demented. But if I am to be multi-dimensional and I am from Chandigarh or nearby or wherever I am from, I have every opportunity to be so. You see, I see already a poster here on the left which says Music Club, Dramatics Club, English Editorial Board, Punjabi Editorial Board, Hindi Editorial Board and Rotaract Club. And there is Art and Photography Club, Projection Design, Student Counseling, Counseling के spelling stick करने पड़ेंगे, Speakers Association, Robotics Society, Society of Manufacturing Engineers, Solar Energy Society and American Society of Mechanical Engineers. Okay. Now let's keep calm while we enjoy the session. these are multi-dimensional opportunities. So I cannot only be an engineer. I cannot only be studying engineering over the branch I have. I cannot be only physics, 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 or chemistry, chemistry, and maths, maths. I have to be multi-dimensional. I know many of you already are. So if you're already into sports or music or photography or art or whatever you're into, please keep it up. In fact, intensify that. Because in the last 1 or 2 years, your parents have been after your life to study, and you have been after your own life to study, and now you are in first year of engineering. And now that you're in first year of engineering, it's not that it's going to get easier. Engineering is not easy, but it happens. You're not falling back into class 12, I can assure you that, right? So let us keep up our pace with the multi-dimensional activity. Because when I interview you after 4 years for a job, or somebody interviews you, I will want to see your all-round excellence. I don't want to see how good you are at mechanical engineering or automation or whatever. I want to see also your personality. I want to see if you are thinking laterally as well as deeply. So how many of you heard of an animal known as a hedgehog? Of course, there's a hedgehog cafe somewhere in Chandigarh where you've been for coffee. Even the chai drinkers are my friends, by the way. If you like tea, I have nothing against you. But I do prefer coffee. So hedgehog is an animal which bores a hole deep into the ground. It's like a mole. A mole is also a spy. But a mole is an animal which makes a hole in the ground, and that is a unidimensional animal. You get the point? I'm going deep into something is unidimensional, but it is also important. Because I become an expert at one topic or one subject which is my chosen field of endeavor. Endeavor के स्पेलिंग नहीं पूछूंगा आपसे, अमेरिकन्स के अलग होते हैं, उसमें यू नहीं होता. My chosen field of endeavor is what I have to excel in, no doubt. I have to be a hedgehog in that. But what is a fox? A fox is an animal which has an overall viewpoint. It is a leader. So I have to be a combo of a hedgehog and a fox. I have to be a specialist and a generalist. Okay? Got the point till now? Multidimensional, all-rounder, leader. Because after graduation from college, wherever you go, whether you go for higher studies or you go for a job, after 5 years after that, or even 3 years after that, you will be leading a team. Maybe a small team of 5 people. Whether you go to Infosys or Google or wherever you go, you will be leading a team. In that team, nobody is going to ask you to be coding after that. Your boss will expect you to get the best out of these 5 people who are in your team. And gradually, as you grow in your career, the number of people you are leading will increase. And the kinds of people will be the same or diverse. So in this hall, no 2 people are the same. Even if there are twins over here, are there any twins? That's very rare to have twins in first year of PEC, right? One would go to Thapad and one comes to PEC. But, or if you have a twin sister, brother, raise your hand. Not here. Oh wow, see? There are so many twins over here whose twin, they're missing your twin sibling, right? You're missing your twin sibling. अभी तक इकट्ठे थे स्कूल में, अब suddenly gone somewhere else. Huh? Whatever, but I'm not asking the details. Even twins are different from each other. My sisters are twins. They're twins, identical. So when they're born, they're so identical twins and fraternal twins. But identical twins are the same. Even their responses are the same. Even their thoughts are the same for a while. But then as they grow, they diversify because of environment, taste, personality. One can be taller than the other, little bit, but they look similar. Now, if I am unique and different from everybody else, then I'm going to be unique and different from everybody else later as well, even more than now. So in 4 years, you will develop another facet or few facets to your personality which are not there now. Now you're 18-year-old, 17 also maybe. I was 17 when I went to first year. 17 and a half, 18. After 19, 20, 21, 22, you change rapidly. So I'm going to name someone because he's quite popular with me these days. He's 23 years old. His name is Anshuman Arora. Now Anshuman Arora came to me at the age of 19 as an intern. He was in college in first year or second year. So at the age of 19, he started interning with me, and now he's 23. I have been watching him change every year. Because I have two daughters who also change every year. But 19 to 23 or 18 to 22 is a phase of life where there is rapid change. Not in your looks, but in your style, in your content, in your mindset, in your thoughts. And what are we? What are human beings? Body, mind, or soul? Raise your hands if it's body. Very bright, huh? Very bright. You're ready to raise hands immediately. If 10 people are raising hands, you'll also raise hands, but no. By the way, 4th September, you must watch KBC. Even if you don't watch KBC otherwise, because I am there for about 5 seconds. Phone a friend. Phone a friend mein main. I was hoping it would not be me, because they had 3 choices. This lady who was on the hot seat had 3 choices. Unfortunately, she chose me. And I'm there with Mr. Bachchan. And the question went way above my head. It went way above my head, and it was a very late stage in the KBC where questions are very tough. It was such a vague question, I didn't have the foggiest idea. I won't tell you the question you watch on 4th September, but I'm sure that, although you're very bright, I'm sure neither you nor your parents nor your grandparents would know the answer to that. I mean, it's very tough. Maybe if they do, please let me know. But in a way, I was happy, because had it been easy and I didn't know the answer, it would have been more embarrassing. So I didn't know the answer. I said, I have no idea. And it went off well. Anyway, jo bhi hua. So coming back to this, your personalities are going to develop rapidly in the next 4 years. And some of you will become public speakers on stage. There is also an art and music Bollywood kind of club out here. I've attended a Bollywood kind of event here actually, where dance, music, lots of stuff was happening. So I'm sure that one of these music clubs or something will do that. And all of you are going to choose 1 or 2 things to do. So please go for them with full energy. One other good thing about you is that you are bright and wide awake at 9:30 a.m. So how many of us are watching reels for more than 3 hours? I know one of you raised your hand and put it down. One of you is bold enough in the 3rd row. Wonderful. And good. I saw your hand. I saw your hand. Put it down. Yeah, put it down. It's like when you can't drop off from reels, it's like you can't put your hand down also. Once it's up, it's up. So, I went to IIT Madras. I traveled to speak. In IIT Madras, they were watching reels for 3 hours. And sleeping for 4 hours. I say, you're going to burn out. And they were burning out. And they were depression. Now, I personally feel that you have to be very, very strict with yourself now. Because if you're going to achieve success in life, and we'll talk about what is success, but if you're going to achieve success in life, you need to be strict with yourself. We can be a little relaxed with ourselves at times, but usually we need to be a bit disciplined. There was a quote which came yesterday. He said, disciplined people are truly free. It seems very awkward. There's an Olympic athlete or something like Kenyan athlete. He says disciplined people are truly free because undisciplined people are at the mercy of desires and habits. If you're at the mercy of desires and habits, you're not free. They're ruling you. Reels are ruling us. If they're ruling us, then how are we free? I have a choice to watch a reel, but if I'm obsessed and addicted, then I can't. What do we need to be disciplined in that? We need willpower. You had willpower when you were studying for 11, 12, whatever. Now you need that willpower going forward, right? We take a 30-second break. Sit straight and put your spine straight. We're just going to do a short meditation. I know it's quite odd to do a meditation in an orientation, but 30-second meditation. So sit with your spine straight and focus on, put your hand on your thighs upward and focus on the point between the eyebrows. This is not religious, it's spiritual. But it's also a very good calming down technique at a very practical level. And for the next 45 seconds or so, close your eyes and notice your breath coming in and out. Natural. With your eyes focused at the point between the eyebrows. Notice your breath coming in and out. Don't control it. Let it flow naturally. Start now. Thank you. Keep sitting straight because your spine likes it. Your back is in good shape if you're sitting straight. In a while you can relax, but for a while you have to sit straight. Your consciousness is superior when you are sitting straight. It becomes alert. It raises its level. Your breath becomes calmer if you do this exercise which we just did. When your breath becomes calmer, your life becomes longer. And your mind becomes quieter. Of course, we are still thinking of Barbie and Oppenheimer. We're still thinking of Pani Puri and brownies and what kya hai wo? Theobroma. We're still thinking of that. But we are basically human. So the mind is uncontrollable. But we help to control the mind and charge our body and mind and soul if we meditate like this. When you are on the way to college, or you have 5 minutes or 3 minutes somewhere, you can do this exercise. People might think you're sleeping or just constant or thinking something. It's okay. Let them think what they want. Just do this. It's called watching your breath. It's a very simple technique. If you believe in God, and many of you don't, many youngsters tell me, sir, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God. It's okay, you don't believe in God, that's fine. You believe in the truth, then you think of the truth, you think of any God that you believe in while doing that. Okay? Now, I have for you a formula. I know that you don't like formulas because you've just come from class 12 and become an engineering student and you'll have lots of formulas going forward. Is it okay if I move around? Camera person, video person? It's okay? Alright. So the thing is that my formula for success and happiness for you, first year students, success and happiness. 3i minus I minus 2m is equal to h plus s. Very, very long, but I'll simplify it. 3i minus I minus 2m is equal to h plus s, happiness plus success. And 3i minus I is 2i, I know, but we have to elaborate on the 3i's. 3i minus I minus 2m. Firstly, what is happiness versus success? And what is the goal of our careers and lives? We are at an orientation induction program where we are now setting our priorities for the future. We're going to follow these priorities for the next 4 years and beyond. Whatever my bent of mind, if my bent of mind is money, 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 then I'm going to be like that. And if my bent of mind is peace, calmness, happiness, I'm going to be like that. And if it is power, 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 I'm going to be like that. Of course, for electrical engineers, power means something else. How many of you are into electrical engineering? Nahin? Wo branch nahi? Computer science? Okay. This side, what branch is here? AI. Okay. Anyone else? Production. Okay. Anyone else? Aerospace. Design. Anyone else? Okay. Now, what is the goal of life? The goal of life is not success, the goal of life is happiness. There is a slight difference. Let me give you the example of one person who is extremely successful but not happy. He doesn't live in India. There may be someone here. But I have one person as an example of somebody who is very, very successful but never looked happy. Never smiles. Former President of the US. Mr. Donald Trump. I have never seen him smile. Mr. Arnab Goswami, we never saw him smile. But Donald Trump is the richest, one of the richest men in America and the world also. Most powerful ever. I mean, 4 years he was the most powerful man on the world, on the planet. Never looks happy, is not happy. Barack Obama, on the other hand, a different personality. Smiling, cheerful person. Power, money and fame are not strictly going to give us happiness. And the goal of life is not money, power or fame or success. Without happiness is what they say in Hindi, they say khokhla. It is without foundation. So we basically need to be absolutely strongly believing that inner happiness is what we are seeking. There is a saying that a 16-year-old admires people with luxuries, with Lamborghinis. And everybody doesn't become mature even when they grow older. Some of them are immature even at 75. But I'm not judging, I'm just saying. But mature people admire people with inner peace. So whatever I do, it should give me happiness. Otherwise, why am I doing it? So 3i minus I minus 2m gives me happiness and success. The first I that you need to have in your life is innovation. So if you're an engineering student, you're already creative in a creative field. Computer science, AI, etc., production, you are going to be creative in your 4 years of study here. It's going to be pretty exciting in terms of your studies, your course. But you're also going to be creative, as we discussed, outside your studies in your multi-dimensional activities. A creative will make innovative results. A creative person will be innovative, right? Innovation is the result of creative thinking. How many of you have spikes in your hair? Either spikes or what is it called? Stripes? What is it? Shades, you know? Something like that. No, nobody here? All very disciplined students. I went to Andhra and I saw some spikes wale boys. Those, you know, hedgehog hairstyle and idli hairstyle. And my daughter, the younger one, she colored her hair red and blue at different times. So anybody with that kind of mindset is creative. But it doesn't mean that you have to do that. You can have your own creative factor. So I call it CQ, your creativity quotient. What is your CQ? And what is it going to be going forward? Can I be a creator of different things resulting in innovation in my life? If I am an innovator, then I will be more recognized and more successful than a person who is routinized. Someone who's doing a 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 job is a good person, I guess. Nothing wrong. Somebody's job is to be a chowkidar at night from 12 to, let's say, 8 in the morning. He does his job. There's no creativity there. Basically, he has to be vigilant, not fall off to sleep at midnight or beyond. But there are jobs which give you immense potential for being different. So if I am going to be a creative innovator, then my life will be more successful and happy. Creative people are also less stressed out. How many of you are into overthinking? Raise your hand. Very good. Very good, because you're honest. And those of you who didn't raise your hands are also into overthinking. Because in 2023, as I said, our best friend is our Reels and Instagram. And they're also our worst enemies. Because they don't allow us to be calm. They keep us on. We overuse our brains. So we need to stop overthinking and get into creative activities which will help us to be calmer and less of an overthinker. Overthinking is counterproductive. Overeating, oversleeping, over anything is counterproductive. But in your case, the problem is undersleeping. 7 hours is good. 4 hours is not good. 5 hours is not good. Okay, if you have an exam the next day, I can understand, but you really need to sleep enough. The next I want to talk about after innovation is inspiration. If you are an inspired individual, then you will have josh throughout your 4 years and beyond. You will go to class with enthusiasm. You will go to do whatever you do with full verve. And everybody has somebody who inspires. You have a role model. If you follow somebody, even Cristiano Ronaldo, maximum Instagram followers in the world even today, Messi piche. My favorite is Messi, by the way. And Argentina won the World Cup. But anybody who inspires you, whether he has Instagram followers or not, has to be there. Your dad, mom, brother, sister, anyone. Alia Bhatt, no problem. Ranveer Singh, even then no problem. Ranveer Alabadia, wo bhi theek hai. How many times did you say I appeared on Ranveer's show? Who was introducing me? Raise your hand. It's gone there. I appeared twice on TRS, which is also known as Beer Biceps Show. So you can watch it later. Many of the things I'm saying here are similar, but he asked me more about IAS, boring things like government, you know. So I was the director of technical education at one point, looking after this college. Tech. That's why they invite me now, right? No, that's not true. I was here 15 years ago. Why should they invite me for that? So the point is that I need to have a role model or an inspiration. It can be Amitabh Bachchan, it can be Ojaswini. Now who's Ojaswini? She's an 11-year-old golfer from Chandigarh. And she's a champion at an international level. And whenever I hear her, she came on stage in some event. What a brain and mind and tiny girl, 11 years old, maybe this much. Fantastic. Inspires me. She's my role model. So I need to have someone someone who gives me josh. And someone who gives me that enthusiasm to be myself. I cannot go through the motions. Routine, dull, ठीक है, चलो second year में पहुंच गए, third year पहुंच गए. अभी तो first day है, first week है. So we are, little bit of josh is there. Retain it. And not only in tech, in PEC, beyond. For life, you have to be inspired. It's very, very important. And the third I is, believe it or not, integrity. Integrity is what you're doing when nobody's watching. Now all of us are human. गलती किससे होती है? इंसान से. We are human. We make mistakes. Anybody here who's perfect? 100% perfect? No flaws at all? Looks like Hrithik Roshan? No. Even Hrithik Roshan is not perfect. So the point is that we have to find improvements in our lives. But we have to do them with character. When nobody is watching, then our character is tested. There's a chocolate day which is not ours. It's my friends or my brothers, and I have that chocolate. So I slipped up. But it's not that you feel guilty about it later. I often tell the youth, and I talk to thousands of youngsters I speak to all over. Thapad had 1500 in first year, 1500. And there I'm going at 500 in one hall, 500 in another hall, 500 in the third hall, and they were streaming it live. And then I go for Q&A to all three halls. But here we'll have one-to-one. The point what I'm trying to say is that I really need to be kind to myself, not feel guilty and move forward. But I learn from my mistakes. All of us make mistakes. Even I make mistakes. I want to not eat something beyond 7 p.m. I don't want to eat sugar beyond 7 p.m. but dessert is there. Temptation. Well, okay, I'll have a little bit. And mango season, about to end. Have all your chosas before they go, if you love mangoes. Your parents love them more than you. So, I know you, I know your parents also. The thing is that integrity is, we're not expecting anyone to be 100% perfectly truthful and high integrity, but we try our best. And we don't deliberately hurt people. Have you ever forgiven anyone in your mind? Good. Forgive. Because who is controlling you if you're angry with someone? If you're angry, thinking about that person, this person has hurt me, I'm going to take revenge. Who is controlling your mind? That person. And if I forgive when I sleep well, he still thinks I haven't forgiven. But I have forgiven and I'm feeling comfortable. So there's too much going on in my mind. And life is too much anyway. So why get into little petty things? Anger is not my friend. Fear is not my friend. Fear and worry is normal for a while. But overstress, over worry, some of us worry so much that we cannot perform at our best only because we're worried. When you go for an interview after 4 years or whenever you go for placements or whatever, if you are nervous to bits, your performance will be 30% lower than what you are capable of. So I need to work on my mind. One of the ways to work on your mind is meditation, which we did in the morning a little bit. You can find a scientific path of meditation. Today I've seen 5-year-olds meditating in a class and they're not very serious about it. But they're sitting down for 10 minutes and they know this is meditation time. Reading books is a great idea. How many of you are writers? Please raise your hands. Writers, very good. Editorial board may you can join. Writers are also readers. If you're reading books, then you're capable of writing. So read a lot. How many of you read Atomic Habits by James Clear? Good. So Atomic Habits by James Clear is a book which helps you to change incrementally, little by little. Your waking up time is 8 a.m., let's say. You want to wake up at 7. You start by waking up at 7:50 next day. Incrementally you improve. You don't try to change yourself overnight. You can't do that. If you are version 2.0 of yourself right now, by the time you graduate from here at version 6.0, And then life will take you to version 11.0 also, like iPhones. कहाँ तक पहुँच गया वो? 14 तक पहुँच गया. I use a OnePlus by the way. Raise your hand if you use OnePlus. Very good, very good, very good. No, I'm not promoting it. It's basically I need to improve every year. And my mind is where the problem and the solution lies. We stop the formula and I tell you a story now. A story. You have two options. One is Einstein's driver's story, and one is Paderewski, the piano player. So raise your hand if you want to hear Einstein's driver's story. Okay, and Paderewski's piano player. Okay, one person is raising two hands. वो तो cricket में 6 होता है. But okay, I'll tell you both because they're 50-50. All right. So first we start with Paderewski. Paderewski is a piano player. He comes on the stage to play pianos, and he's a performer, and 500 people normally watch his concerts. One young mother and her 5-year-old child, they come illegally because 12-year-old children se upar are allowed, not 5-year-olds. But the mother doesn't want to leave the child at home and wants to listen to Paderewski. She comes, she sits in a corner with the child, and she makes the child hide in a way so that nobody can spot the child. Now she spots a friend sitting 2 rows ahead. And the concert has not yet begun. She goes and talks to the friend. She tells the child, don't get up from here. But children are children. 5-year-old, when you were 5-year-old, you were a bit naughty. So was I. So at 5-year-old, that child doesn't listen to the mama. She goes for some gupshup with that friend before the concert begins. And the child goes into a board which says no entry. A door which says no entry. And finds himself on the stage with the piano. And starts playing the piano ting ting on the stage. Still closed. And everybody is wondering, ye piano kaun baja? And the child doesn't know how to play, but just keeps doing ting, 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 whatever. And then 3 things happen at the same time. It's a very important story. Paderewski comes on the stage, the mother comes back to her seat, and the curtain opens. The mother notices that the child is missing, vanished, turns around and sees that the child is playing the piano on the stage. Already she thinks she's going to be thrown out. Now she thinks she's going to be arrested and put into jail. But Paderewski comes and has 2 options. One is normal, which is losing your cool, losing your temper. Take away this child, I have to play, I'm Paderewski. What is this child doing over here? Getting angry. Now Virat Kohli is going out to bat और कोई और उसका बैट लेके बैटिंग करने लग जाए तो क्या करेगा वो? गुस्से वाला आदमी वैसे ही है. थोड़ा ठंडा हो गया आजकल वैसे. He's become calmer. He got married. He always laughs at this one. Whenever I say he got married, everybody laughs. Anyway, so he got cool. Now Paderewski has 2 options: either to lose his temper or to keep calm. He keeps calm and he says, bring another stool. He sits down with the child and plays on the child's tune. He improvises his musical concert, and for 1 hour the child and Paderewski play together. Jugalbandi. And the child is जैसे फितूर होता है बच्चों में कभी-कभी ऐसे ही just going on and on and on, and Paderewski is improvising, and everybody is thrilled. It becomes the best concert ever, and the mother becomes a celebrity instead of being arrested, and the child becomes a super celebrity. What do we learn from the child? We don't learn anything from the mother except what not to do. She was a nice lady though. But what do we learn from the child? Fearlessness. अब हम 18 साल के हो गए, हम डरने लग गए. But we have to remain within limits. No entry means no entry. But we still have to have some fearlessness, enthusiasm. You know which rules you can break without breaking rules. And be a little more excited in life. And what do we learn from Paderewski? Raise your hands. What do we learn from Penderecki? Calmness. Okay, one is enough. Yes, anyone else? Forgiveness, yeah, okay. Adaptability to a new situation. And yes, humility. What were you going to say? Huh? Ability to learn, yes, improvise. And humility, humbleness. Arrogance is, nobody respects people who are arrogant. Now I respect Kohli more. Dhoni, full respect. Tendulkar never lost his temper. You heard of Zidane? Football fans, Zinedine Zidane. 2006 World Cup, final or semi-final against Italy. Materazzi, Italian player. He was swearing at Zidane throughout the match. His job was to mark, I'm a sports guy, so you understand, mark the top guy of France, Zidane, so that he doesn't get the ball. Just mark him. And he would swear at him, provoke him. And towards the end of the match, he said something terrible. And Zidane lost his cool and headbutted him. I don't know how you can headbutt a 6'5" guy and make him fall down. I can't do that. But the Materazzi fell down, maybe deliberately. Because that was his intention, to provoke Zidane into doing something illegal. And Zidane was sent off by the referee because he lost his calmness. And France played with 10 men and lost. And Materazzi achieved his objective of provoking Zidane and making him lose his cool. So we need to retain that cool, calm demeanor even when we are provoked. चंडीगढ़ में क्या होता है या लुधियाना में या इवन पानीपत में, पंजाब, हरियाणा, not Himachal. How many of you are from Himachal? Raise your hands. Okay, my wife is from Himachal and I am half from Himachal. Himachal people are cool. But Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, what happens? 4 boys were in a car. I've served in Haryana, I've served in Chandigarh, I know. Delhi, I was born in Delhi. 4 boys in a car. And one elderly gentleman in another car. एक तो तुमने मेरी गाड़ी को मारा, एक तुम मुझे धक्के लगा रहे हो. जैसे अंकल कोई गल नहीं, 2 ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵੱਲ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ. 2 of us will come on your side and fight. After a while the uncle ji says कि भाई मैं तो थक गया, मैं तो जा रहा हूँ. इस अंकल तुसी चलो, ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖ ਲਾਂਗੇ. Which means कि लड़ना है, कुछ भी हो जाए लड़ना है. Now that attitude is beyond the point, it's unpalatable. Shashi Tharoor allowed me to use this word unpalatable before you. I asked him, can I use unpalatable at PET? He said, yeah, go ahead, Vivek. Okay? You can't digest such a thing beyond the point. What about minus I? 3I minus I. Go Einstein driver abhi batayenge. Minus I is minus ego. Ego starts with E. But what does it mean? I, my this, my that, my college, my bag, my pen, my phone, my result, my success, my money. So I become self-centered. If I start thinking of others, then my success is more complete. Many of you kids, because I have 2 daughters I know, are much better than I was, at least in my generation. We used to think of our jobs and our careers, but some of you have already started making NGOs, looking at others, helping others, plantation of trees, teaching poor kids. When you start empathizing with those who are less fortunate, you grow and you reduce your ego. Ego doesn't mean वो अपने आप को बहुत समझता है. Ego means that he only thinks of himself, self-centered and selfish. So I need to reduce that tendency. Because ultimately, even spiritually, when I was talking about meditation, ultimately the fight is between the soul and the ego. And we are the soul. बाद में पता चलती मुझे फर्स्ट ईयर में नहीं पता थी. Soul and the ego is the fight. The battle of Kurukshetra is between the soul and the ego. The soul qualities of the Pandavas and the ego qualities of the Kauravas. And it is within us. So, it's a very deep point, minus the ego. Minus 2m is equal to h plus s. I have a quote, galti se aa gaya. We'll finish in a while. What time is it now? We'll stop in a while and then we can have interaction, okay? Story of Einstein's driver is pending. I have a quote. I have 4 books, by the way. Those of you who read books, please read one of my books at least. But read Atomic Habits by James Clear first. My book is called Finding Success Within. Within, not outside. Life is not about marks. Life is about making a mark. You can clap. Why? Because impactful lives are not dependent on 99% marks. Many of you got 90s only, that's why you're here, all of you. The point is that marks are only part of the game, part of the game. We have to work hard and get good marks, I'm not saying that. Even here you have to do well. But you have to make a mark in life, which is not dependent only on marks consciousness. Many other things are involved. And the earning of life is not money or marks, it is goodwill, reputation, image, what people think about you behind your back. These are deeper things, but they are important. You're very bright and understanding. And the other M, as you rightly guessed already, is money consciousness also has to be reduced. Marks consciousness and money consciousness has to be reduced. Property consciousness has to be reduced. You can tell your parents also. I was Deputy Commissioner of Panchkula. I resigned from IAS, you know that. When I was DC Panchkula, I used to get people who had dispossessed their parents of the property. People in their 40s whose parents are in their 60s or 70s, dispossessed. Daskat kara liya usse. It's a bad scenario in that sense. If you guys are going to be full of property, money consciousness, the future will be similar. So we have to change the norm of society and try and think differently. You are from a premier institution. Maybe some of you wanted to go to IIT and you're here, you're not feeling very happy about it. But it's okay. Life is not about marks. You're going to do better than IITians. Raise a round of applause for PEC. Any of you would think, still dreaming of IIT, let me tell you, after a few years, nobody is going to be bothered where you came from. It depends on what you are, not what you did. And your previous job will be your identity in the commercial, in the material career also. Okay? Previous job, experience. By the way, they might ask which college are you from. But if you are from this college, you have a great chance to outshine everyone. Okay? And 3i minus I minus 2m is equal to h plus s, happiness plus success. Why I tell you these formulas is because after 1 week you will forget what I said. You'll only remember perhaps Padrevsky's story and formula. You'll forget what color shirt I was wearing. You'll forget what I was saying. Because lots is happening in life. I will also forget half of it. I went to PEC, I said some stories, you know. Okay, you heard of Arunima Sinha? Raise your hands. She's not in your college. Arunima Sinha, anyone? Yes? What was she doing? Yeah. Mount Everest. So Arunima Sinha lost her legs in a train accident. She was a volleyball player. We can't play volleyball without legs. Her dream was shattered. She started getting prosthetic limbs and walking and trekking. And one day she climbed Mount Everest with those artificial limbs. She wrote a book about it. She didn't feel sorry for herself. मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? That attitude is not good. Why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? Don't be of that attitude. Okay. Einstein's driver is slightly humorous also, so let's go into that now. And then we'll close and you can ask questions. And later you can follow me on Instagram because your mama will allow you. And you don't need to ask your mama now, you are in college, right? And but be careful who you follow. And LinkedIn, you're in first year, but by the time you're in second year or even in first year, make your LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn is professional. All the professors are on LinkedIn because that gives them career opportunities network. So if you connect with me on LinkedIn, oh, you're connected to Vivek Atre. Wow, man. I'm joking. basically you do that, okay? Albert Einstein is equal to mc square, पता है सबको? Oppenheimer में भी आता है, Einstein. And I mean not him really, but his actor. Theory of relativity. I'm not going to explain that theory. It's beyond me. But he goes to 24 US towns and delivers a lecture on the theory of relativity, maybe in the 1930s or something like that. And nobody knew how he looked before the event. There was no digital image or anything happening. You know, now you can Google anyone, find Instagram. Albert Einstein also nobody knew. Americans का वैसे भी GK थोड़ा सा कम ही होता है. French में बोलते कौन सी कौन सा. So. Seriously. So they didn't know how he looked. And what happened was that he kept giving this lecture 24 times on the theory of relativity. He would go to one university town. He would go and stay the night in that town and then go to the next town in the same car with the same driver. And the driver would go and sit at the back of the hall each time and listen to the lecture carefully. The driver. And this driver, he took notes. And 24 times he did not speak to Einstein on the road. After 24 towns, they're going to the 25th town like this. There's a hall waiting for them full of students and professors. Einstein is to go on stage and speak. They're half an hour away from that place. The driver finally speaks. He says, Mr. Einstein, pardon me, I heard your lecture 24 times sitting at the back of the hall. I think even I can deliver this lecture now. Now, अगर आपको कोई बोले वो पेड्रेव्स्की की तरह, कोहली की तरह कि मैं आपकी जगह lecture दूंगा, you won't be very pleased. Einstein is the greatest scientist. He always drops his papers. My driver wants to deliver my lecture on the theory of relativity. But he's a great man, adaptable, flexible, humble like Petrevsky. After 5 seconds, he recovers from this statement. He says, "ठीक है, I become the driver, you become Einstein, you sit at the back. They don't know how I look, as I said. They don't know how he look. And we go." And then the professors receive the driver with a bouquet of flowers. They come inside the hall. Einstein goes and sits at the back of the hall pretending to be the driver. And the driver comes on the stage to deliver a lecture on the theory of relativity, pretending to be Albert Einstein. For 90 minutes, he speaks without any flaw. Flawless. Perfect. No mistakes. Everybody's thrilled. Gaga. Everybody's clapping. Einstein is very thrilled. Standing on his chair and clapping. Then there is Q&A. जैसे अभी होने वाला है. And the professor in the front row asks a question which is very complicated. And the driver looks at him. He doesn't have a clue. He looks at him. He says, Professor, this is such a simple question. Such a simple question that even my driver can answer it. Even my driver can answer. Now, what does the driver have that we need to have? Number one, yeah?
Fearlessness and confidence.
Confidence,
A presence of mind.
presence of mind. Clap for the young lady here. What's your name?
Yeah.
Divya.
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 With an R.
Rivya. R-I-V-Y-A. R-I-V-Y-A.
R-I-V-E-A.
E-A. Okay, Rivya. Yes, with the red cap, what's your answer? Your red cap क्यों कर रहे हो? हाँ, okay. Yeah.
Quick thinking.
Quick think. What's your name?
Sujal.
Sujal. Pujal.
S-U-J-A-L.
सुजल आजकल बड़ा इनोवेशन है ना नेम्स में पहले हमारे यहाँ विवेक विवान ऐसे ऐसे नाम होते ओके सो we learn from the driver confidence, courage. He was a good orator, maybe better than Einstein. And presence of mind when a difficult situation comes, he's calm. Maybe he was exposed and Einstein gave the lecture again because people said, "Ki ye kya kar rahe ho sir?" Whatever it is. And what do we learn from Einstein again? Humility, adaptability. Great people are humble, not arrogant. अपने आप को ज़्यादा समझना बहुत आसान है. And I have another quote which is, respect is greater than authority. If people respect you, then they will work for you with full passion and determination and dedication. But if they are scared of you, they'll work only out of fear. Authority is not that important. I resigned from the IAS to become a motivational speaker. I get respect. I got respect there also. But authority was not really exciting anymore. Okay, thank you. You can clap again and we will be in touch on, you can always ask me questions on social media. I always reply, maybe in a day or two, but I always reply. And I always get questions which are thought of later. But if you have questions now, it would be good, it would be nice to hear them and I can answer 2 or 3 of them. So raise your hands if you have questions. I know you're in first year and you're a little hesitant, but it's okay. You can still be confident and ask questions. Some of you are raising half hands, which doesn't count. One is raising full hand. One is tossing the hair like this, I thought. Okay? Yes, I have one question. What's your name? Yes. Yeah. What's your name? Others, stand up and tell me your question. You got the mic here.
So you said that we have to be creative and also not to overthink. So how can we be creative and not overthink? Because if we are creative, we have to think about things.
Yeah, it's a good question. Good question, Adarsh. It's a very good question. See, when I say overthinking, I basically mean negative overthinking. I mean worry. ये ना हो जाए, वो ना हो जाए, वो मेरे से नाराज है, वो ऐसे सोच रहा है. What do people think about me? That is overthinking. When I'm thinking about my work or about my family or about my creative pursuits or any ideas for the future. And there's a quote yesterday that the best ideas come when you go for a walk or a jog or when you're not doing any work. So that is not overthinking. Please think over and over again about your creative ideas. That is great. But don't think about failure, about bad things, about sad things, about people who you don't like or you want to avoid, or who said what to you or why is he like that and why is she like that. Don't think about that. Right? Creative overthinking is okay. Anyone else? Yes, what's your name?
Namita.
Ambika.
Namita.
Namita. Okay.
Sir, I want to ask you a question regarding
Me?
your own.
Yeah?
Uh, Many people aspire to be IAS or be in civil services, and in that job, you got respect as well as you could be a source of motivation for many. So, what made you choose to be a motivational speaker and resign your prestigious IAS job?
You are the sweetest person to ask this question. Everybody asks this question, wherever I go they ask this, but the way you asked it was very sweet, I must say. It was very nicely put. The thing is that there is a door for everything. There's a phase, there's an era, there is a time. So there was a time for me to be serving the society in civil service. I was from the Haryana Civil Service, then IAS, promoted to IAS. And 17 plus 8 years, 25 years, even if I don't look that old, 25 years I served. So 25 years, I could have served another 11 years. I was young when I joined. My father died in service, so I joined. But I wanted to do something more creative, innovative, and motivational. I became a speaker in service also. I got 2 TEDx talks when I was an IAS officer. Then I said I want to do more of this. And I have to take chutti from Chief Secretary, which I don't want to do, and he won't allow me anyway. Kaam karo apna, kahan speech dene ja rahe ho. I want to go to Bangalore, Bombay, which I do now. So I really felt strongly. Plus, I found that the youngsters are overthinking, stressed out, expectation of pressure from parents, from society, and some of them, frankly, are feeling depressed and low. So I am one of the people who go and try to inspire. And being a former IAS officer, I thought they might listen to me a bit more carefully. That's the reason. Okay. So PSC anyway is my city. I can come here again sometime after 6 months, 1 year, whenever they call me. Do you have another series of lectures for students and clubs? So I'll come again, we'll interact again. But when you keep having your events also, where sometimes you invite me, sometimes I'm not able to come. I couldn't come for PECFest last time, they called me. There was some literary club also which had an event. Human library also you had some event. So these are good things, so I'll keep meeting you somewhere or the other. Any other? You still have 2, okay. You can't ask another one. Oh, you gave an answer earlier. Yeah, tell me your question. Quickly, let's do these 3 rapid fire. Yes?
So I was wondering that you said that it's important to let go of our ego and selfishness, but I think at the same time you'll agree that it's important to put ourselves first at some point. So how do we know when it's bordering on selfishness and ego?
Okay, so why don't you adopt the 80-20 rule? When you finish your engineering and you go to MBA, though I didn't do MBA, I don't know anything about MBA, but I know the 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle. So 80-20 rule means 80% of the time you think about yourself and your work and your own things, but 20% of the time give to others. Don't make it 20-80, so you'll do well also and you'll help others also. 80-20. One at the back, what's your name? Yeah, you raised your hand, somebody raised the hand earlier. Second thoughts? Yeah, next to the Sardarji in the red turban on his right. You raised your hand? You didn't raise your hand? Okay, you meet me outside. Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Atman.
Huh? What's your name?
So my name is Atman.
Atman.
So I'm from the B design.
It means soul.
Yes, sir.
I've been talking about the soul. Okay, yeah, tell me.
So my question is that the seniors told us that you have achieved a lot of things in your life.
Who told you?
The seniors.
Seniors told you, okay.
So
I have achieved a lot of things. Or you?
so you.
Okay, me. Okay. Okay. I'm joking. Yeah, go ahead.
So my question is, are you happy?
Okay. Do I give happy vibes or sad vibes?
Happy.
Happy. So that's my answer. Thank you. Vibes. Vibes are very important for the millennials. Good vibes. Okay. I think we call it a day and you will be in touch. I am much older than you. My kids are older than you. But please be in touch and please Don't go into any kind of low feeling phase, bounce back each time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for this insightful session. It really acted as an eye-opener for many students. I now request our Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Diya Prajapati, to present a memento to Mr. Vivek Atre as a token of our heartfelt gratitude. Let's invite him upon the stage with a great round of applause.
See, all three of us have the same color code. Yes.
I'm enjoying this phase. I'm enjoying it a lot. Okay, thank you.